Yeah. hmm Want to connect with other Democrats in your area? There's a Democratic organization in your legislative district and county. Yes. Now, these districts in the individual states, yes. Exactly how are they decided? Because obviously there must be some sort of laws, yes, that decide that this district, yes, is the actual district where the different parties can have their individual precincts, right, where you could participate in the process known as democracy. Now, could you give me the actual laws that make these legislative districts, as in the legislature, yes, has approved the districts that if I, as a citizen, wanted to communicate with the Democrats in my county, yes, I could go there and I could say that my rights are being violated. Now, I happen to know the actual location of where the Democrats have their location. Yes. And then I would walk in and I'd say, well, this is a forgery. Yes. And this is fraud. And this is kidnapping. Yes. And this is misprisioning of treason. Yes. And then this traffic citation happens to have numerous laws involved in being violated. Right. And for all of you in office, you would have done what I have experienced. Well, I guess you should report it to law enforcement. Now, the problem with law enforcement not enforcing the laws is it gives the impression that you in the legislative districts are not liable for the laws of the state in the United States. Yes. When the truth is, since it's legislated, yeah, the legislature has decided. Now, I'm wanting to sue you. Do you understand there, Sheriff? Do you know where the Republican Party's headquarters is in Clallam County? Yes. So do I. And since I do know where it's at, if I walk in there and any officer of the actual precinct of the Republican Party were to tell me you need to talk to the sheriff about crime, I could say, yes, I document it. Now, there seems to be this huge, I mean, huge violating of the actual oath of the precinct officer, yes, and then the officers in the actual headquarters, yes, of the individual parties. Now, why don't you get me the GPS location? Because there's this thought right now that when you refuse to acknowledge the laws of the United States, you have implicated the party, yes, that supported you for the candidacy. Now, as much as you don't want to acknowledge this, when you refuse to respond to the evidence of crime, yes, you have violated the legislature's right to legislate the various districts for election, yes, as well as the precincts for. Well, all of this involves the law, Sheriff. The laws of the United States have districts that individuals vote in, yes, for the individual candidates, yes. And the districts within the county, yeah, they have what's known as precincts. Now, the precinct and the district are all legislated from the legislature. And you're saying, yes, that your refusal to answer an email that documents crime doesn't violate the state's legislature, yes, of districts and precincts right now. But I think it does. Oh. Now, when we look at it, they have what's known as the Electoral College. Yes. I mentioned that in numerous videos. What happens when the only form for the actual party has Republican or Democrat? And then you decided that you're going to name somebody to be the president of the United States. Yes, where there was no party, there was no precinct. I'm thinking that the lawsuit that I mentioned in the past, yes, were those that are in the Electoral College, yeah, decided that they would name a candidate for the presidency of the United States where there was no precinct, yes, because there was no party. Yes, because the form to be a candidate for office in the precinct does not make any allowance for any individual right now. Now, this is going to be a pretty good sized fucking lawsuit.